Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Chelsea Football Cousins. Today we're going to be going over a match review of Bayern versus PSG in the Champions League final. So, who do you think deserved to win overall?
Yeah, definitely Bayern. Are you surprised with the outcome?
I wouldn't say surprised. I'm surprised at the scoreline. I expected a more free-form scoring game, but overall I think Bayern was the stronger team.
What do you mean? Bayern should have scored more, or are you
Both.
talking about both
I
sides?
feel like it. I was predicting a 4-3 or like
Really?
a 3-2.
Both
teams.
sides have good defenses.
They have
It's
great-
not like you're playing against
Yeah.
Leipzig where they only had one good defender.
Yeah, but you have Lewandowski, you have Neymar, you have Mbappe, you
Their
have
attacking trio.
some of the best attacking players in Europe. For the game to go to one, I think shows how good the defense was. But I feel like Lewandowski didn't have a good game. Mbappe didn't really have that good of a game. Di Maria was pretty much shut out the whole time.
Both sides had their chances.
Yeah.
And both sides had crazy misses too.
Mm-hmm.
Lewandowski at the post.
Yeah. Mbappe had that pass that he didn't make through Choupo-Moting, could have scored it.
Yes.
He tried to back heel
Yeah.
for some reason. It's
Yeah. What was that?
yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's just the idea of being in the final that kind of brings that. It takes you out of the game. That's where the experience comes in.
Mhm.
But
Do you think both teams deserve to be in that final?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at who PSG went up against and who Bayern went up against, both teams were the stronger teams in their seeds. So for them not to go through would be would be considered an upset. So, for who I thought was going to go in the final, and a lot of people predicted Man City would have been in the final, but PSG was a strong favorite for their group, and so was Bayern. So I'm not surprised with the final at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams were well deservedly
In their final, yeah.
in the final. Both could have taken it. Yes, Bayern I think were the favorites, but both had their chances. It could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think a great game.
Yeah,
Watch it.
overall, fantastic game. So, now that we went over the team itself, who do we think were the key players? Let's start with Bayern.
Coman got man of the match, right?
I think so, yeah,
he
for his
got
goal.
he got man of the match for the goal. Great goal, great
Mhm.
player. I think the man of the match should have been Neuer.
Neuer was, I think, one of the most solid players on that field. Even the offside goals that should have gone in, he blocked. Nothing
And
went
then he's just
in.
standing up like this.
Yeah, nothing went in the
Yeah.
net. Normally, a player would have been freaking out. He cool, calm, collected like ice. Just made the block, made the save with his toe, and then he was just like, "Yep."
That one save where he goes down and he gets it with his hand as it passes his foot.
Yeah.
There is.
Or the one when they dragged it onto the corner and he had two shots. He blocked the
Yes.
first one and the second one was out of the corner, but he made the shot anyways and he still blocked it. I think that just goes to show there's no BS with that goalkeeper. It's
The sweeper keeper.
yeah, basically. And any through ball that was coming in, he was there to stop it. So it's just I think still one of the world best goalkeepers, even at his age.
Yeah, their back line. Anyone stand out particularly for you?
Kimmich, I think, was one of the most solid players overall. He was consistent, amazing passes, great defending, and he's not really the paciest. So the fact that he was going up against Neymar and Mbappe and bringing them off the ball, forcing them on a foot that's not comfortable to them, you'd see him. He would make them kind of drag wider than they're normally comfortable with because they like to cut in. I think that was one of the best players. If they didn't have Kimmich or if Kimmich got injured, that would have been a different game. So, do you agree?
Yeah, I think from that back line, Kimmich and Alaba.
Kimmich and Alba, yeah.
Davies is always a speed demon powerhouse. He lost the ball a couple times.
Yeah.
He does have that heart where he will recover it, but just back line totally unbiased. I think Alaba and Kimmich.
Yeah.
Alaba being the absolute rock back there,
Mm-hmm.
and Kimmich bringing it up and defending those wide players, which, like you said, some of the best attacking players in the world. I think they both did.
I'd even give a shout to Sule,
Sule.
coming on for,
Boateng.
who got injured, for him to come on and, just his physical presence alone, he would body people off the ball.
For a big dude, he's quick.
He's fast.
He's quick.
Very fast guy. It's even him running at you as an attacker, you see the pressure before he gets onto that attacker. So when, let's say, Di Maria would bring the ball down, having Sule run at him, you'd see him kind of tense up and try to get the pass out faster. Faster than he normally would. So it's that's what you miss in a center back. You know, somebody who his physical presence is like, oh man, I have to go against this player. So mentally, it's I think it's a mind game too with Sule. So he's fantastic center back. Overall, the defense was great. No goals.
They snuffed out.
Yeah.
One of the best attacking trios in the world.
Yeah.
The midfield, starting we have Thiago, Goretzka, and Mueller. Anyone stand out from them, you think?
Yeah, Thiago. I think Thiago and Goretzka were two of the best. Thiago, I think, had the better stats overall. His defensive play was fantastic. His passes were amazing. He's cool and collected under pressure. Some of the passes he made, I was surprised. Like the vision that he has, the ability to switch the ball when he needed to. And then Goretzka's just that overall powerhouse that you need in the midfield.
Yeah.
Box to box, he's there consistently.
He's like what we thought our Barkley was going to be.
Yeah. He's everywhere, and he's not the best at something. He's good at everything.
Yeah, look at his stats on FIFA.
Yeah,
it's like almost a perfect
octagon,
whatever. I agree. He's strong. He's not the best defender, not the best attacker, but he does both well.
Yeah,
he distributes the ball well.
He's a consistent player.
Mueller was kind of quiet.
Mueller was very quiet, especially at like the first 30, 40 minutes. Some of the passes and the plays that he was making, just really wasn't involved in the passes he was making. Just would bring the ball back and they'd lose the ball, and I think it was a bad matchup. I probably would have started Coutinho because Mueller's just a slower player, and they have very fast players, PSG. So kind of that, for somebody who is slower, not as technical, it's a hard game for him. Because normally if you have slower defenders to go up against, you use your pace to beat them.
Yeah.
If you have a defender like, Thiago Silva, Mbappe, Marquinhos, all those players that are not only fast, but they're also very smart with their positioning. It's hard for somebody who is known as like the space interpreter. Mueller's like his very good attacking positioning. You could get shut down really easy, and that's where he fell apart.
And he did. Attacking line, starting with Coman, Gnabry, and Lewandowski.
Who do you think was the best in that?
I'm gonna have to go with Coman. Yeah. Lewandowski, I didn't really make too much noise. He had that one header that Navas blocked.
Yeah,
it was a good header too. Nice save.
And that turn shot that hit the post. That was a good turn too.
Yeah,
but nothing.
Not the result that we thought, that we expected for him. Reasonably so.
Man with 50 goals in his entire season, I maybe expected him to at least have involvement in one goal.
Yeah. Gnabry was quiet.
Very quiet.
And after he got that yellow, I think the coach saw, let's take him out. I think that was a good move.
Yeah.
I was surprised they started Coman, to be honest.
I was too.
Because he was younger, I thought Perisic, the more experienced player, would have came on. But I was reading up on him, and he played for Juve.
PSG.
He played for PSG, and this guy has won
everything.
He's a title-winning machine.
Yeah.
So he's a lot more experienced than I thought for a player his age.
I think, he does have the experience, and he's played with some of the world's best teams. But I think it was more of like a tactical change. Perisic and Coman offer two completely different roles, and I think PSG expected for Perisic to start, slower player, a little more technical. But throwing Coman on, who was just pace, speed demon dribbling, I think really kind of was like, oh man, because you could see it like within the 50th minute, like he was just back and forth dribbling past their right back, bringing it into the box.
Havoc on that side.
Yeah,
between him and Davies.
And you could tell they couldn't counter that. Like whenever Bayern would bring it back, it would be Kimmich passing it to Sule, who would pass it to Neuer, who would pass it to Alaba, who would pass it to Davies, who would bring it right up to Coman. It was literally back line and then attack on the left side the whole game. So they abused that, and I think that was smart, very like tactically aware. So
yeah. To the other team.
PSG.
Yeah, starting with the back. Big man Keylor.
What'd you think? Good game?
I think he's a great goalie. He had his saves in, his big saves. The goal that they scored on him, I don't see any goalkeeper getting that.
No.
It was a great header.
Yeah.
Powerful bottom left corner for Navas. I think he did his job.
I mean, you can't really fault Navas for that goal. It's not like he made any glaring mistakes. He wasn't off position. I think it was more of just their right back not, marking their man. So
what a clever cross from Kimmich.
Yeah, he just lobbed it right over, nice and slow.
It just
gave the
like
player,
kind of slow motion floated across their back
it
line.
gave the player the time to really, like Coleman's not known for his headers, and the fact that he could, header that, I think goes to show how well Kimmich gave that. Like the delivery was, it wasn't even the finishing product; it was the delivery. I think that really made it.
Yeah. Starting back lineup was Kerrer, Silva, Kimpembe, Bernat.
Silva, I think.
Silva was the standout
Performer as always. Kimpembe, I think he did.
Get him.
Yeah, I think he did very well. The right back, not
he was getting views on that side.
He had a very quiet game.
On that side.
And I think Bernat as well. I think he did very well, but he got subbed off in the 70th minute, and you could see how tired he was. I think that came from Gnabry, how fast he is. So even though he had a quiet game, I think Bernat put a lot into defending him in his runs. So, yeah, overall, I would say Silva and Kimpembe is like their star center backs.
Okay. I definitely agree with Silva. I think I don't know what they're gonna do after they get rid of Silva. I can't see anyone here being a leader of the back line. Kimpembe is good. I don't think he's close
Maybe
to Silva yet. Marquinhos, yeah. Is he as good as he is center back as CDM?
I think so.
Because they played him CDM and they just kept him CDM.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just a lack of depth in the CDM position.
He almost scored.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, he scored last game.
Oh, the header.
Yeah. He's a really good player.
So yeah, their midfield: Herrera, Marquinhos, Paredes.
Paredes had a quiet game, I think. You saw him get frustrated at the end when they kept fouling Neymar. Kind of got involved, very physical in terms of
He was quiet. He was quiet.
Very quiet.
I think the standout player there, Marquinhos.
I would say.
Herrera always puts in the work.
Dude, I feel like he kind of led to the goal. Herrera.
Of their goal?
Of Bayern's goal. Yeah, Herrera, he's a good player. He's consistent. But to be going up against Bayern, I think, was a bad matchup. Because Bayern is pace. Bayern is just straight pace. If you put somebody who's a slower player, there were gaps on that, right-hand side that he should have filled in to cover for their right back, and he just couldn't. He was just a little slower on the ball. So, good game, but at the same time, I feel like there were, parts that were lacking. A 6 out of 10, I would say.
Okay. Now, probably, one of the most expensive attacking trios
in the world.
Yeah, right now. Di Maria, Neymar, Mbappe. I think Neymar had a great game. We have seen some lack in finishing.
Yeah.
Some of these chances he should have put away. He could have put away and he should have put away, but he didn't. Same thing for Mbappe. Di Maria was very quiet during the final compared to the game that they had beforehand.
Yeah,
the final he was.
Yeah, he had 100% goal involvement last game, and this game he didn't really do much. And it happens. It's on any other day. It could have been a complete different. He could have been a different player, but it's just the best player there was Neymar. Mbappe, he tried a couple of times. He got unlucky, and then I honestly I didn't even know they had Di Maria on the field. Anytime I saw him on the when they would zoom in on the players, oh man, he's playing, and that's something that you normally don't see. You see him crazy free kicks, amazing passes, dribbling through the defense, and he really didn't have any of that. So
no, they snuffed him out.
Yeah. So
anyone from either team you think had a bad performance?
So if I were to pick one player from Bayern that had a bad performance, honestly, I'd probably say Müller.
Yeah.
Müller or Lewandowski.
I don't think Lewandowski did bad. He hit the post.
For what he is, though, I feel like to be compared to Messi and Ronaldo, who are always kind of involved in finals, I feel like that's what sets you a class apart. It's you have to consistently perform even in the finals. I think the finals are what makes you world class or not.
A big game player.
Yeah, and it's to be able to kind of deal with that pressure. And he just, I don't know, really wasn't involved much. But Müller overall didn't really do much. So I'd probably say Müller over anybody.
Müller from Bayern and from PSG. I think I'm gonna have to go with their right back, Kerrer.
Okay. I would say so too.
He had it tough being on that right side, but he also
A lot of silly mistakes.
He was getting ran
He was
over.
getting-
I think
yeah, he was
Coman
getting
passed him
abused.
every time,
Yeah.
except for the one like the debatable penalty.
Mhm.
Besides that, Coman and it was the same. He'd fake right, go left
Yeah.
every time. Just
Yeah.
beating him every time
Mhm.
on that side. Is he a good right back? Yeah. This game he was getting beaten.
He's young, and it's rough, to be going up against Coleman and Davies, two speed demons. You get tired. So, he made questionable decisions, but he was also just outclassed in terms of just physicality, and that happens.
Overall, do you they broke a record for the
Yeah, yeah.
Champions League, right?
They went undefeated.
Their
And
whole
Champions
stages.
League. Yeah.
Do you think that this Bayern team? Do you think, especially with their manager Flick,
Mhm.
do you think he's created a reign that's going to last for more than this Champions League?
I think so. Bayern, I think the current team that they have now is, I think, one of the best Bayern teams I've seen. Even when Chelsea played them in the final and beat them, they had a very strong team. I think this one's more well-rounded. They have young players who have a future, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. They're
Kimmich, Sané coming in.
Yeah, their team
Coman.
is 65, 70 million, that starting lineup that they put on the field, and that's what they purchased them at. Now they're probably worth 300-400 million total. So I think, give them 3, 4, 5 more years to get to like their prime, and these, if they don't leave, I think it's going to be one of the best teams in Europe. So I would say it's a reign of dominance.
Yeah, I don't see them being less potent or aggressive anytime soon.
Yeah.
They're at this point just they have the experience in the areas where it's needed, kind of unlike us,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the young players coming in, and they have that good mix. I see them going for a long run, being a strong team as well.
Yeah, you can see that they have a very high ceiling in terms of skill and potential, and that's something you don't get in the fact that they have 6, 7 players that have like that insane potential. Is like, it really puts things into perspective of how well Bayern have been doing as a business in recruiting and as a soccer club. So it's going to be scary going up against them.
It's gonna be scary. They deserve to win. They are gonna win, but fortunately, we're gonna see them in the future. And hope things go our way. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. In the comment section below, let us know. Keep some discussion going. Let us know who you thought were key players who didn't do well, or if you guys disagree with our opinions. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep up to date with Chelsea Football Cousins.
Yeah, thanks for watching.